You are listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. Amber is a sought-after productivity coach, trainer, speaker, and writer who gives entrepreneurs the straight talk on personal productivity. No BS, fluff, or overused jargon. Just actionable strategies to get results and succeed in business. And here is your host, Amber De La Garza, the Productivity Specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today's episode 208, All or Nothing, Now or Never. If you're a business owner who wants to improve your time management and elevate your productivity so you can maximize profits, reduce stress, and make time for what matters most, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me here today. If you are new to Productivity Straight Talk, we are doing a summer abbreviated series where I am dropping an episode every other week versus every week. We will be back to regular programming in September. If you want to hear more about that and why I made those decisions and how you too can make similar decisions in your business, head back and listen to episode Seasons, all about seasons. Well, if you have been a longtime listener, I hope you're enjoying your summer. And I have actually gotten some really great feedback of saying, oh my gosh, it's so great to be able to go back and listen to older episodes that I couldn't listen to or wanted to re-listen to. So thank you for the support and the feedback. And I hope you are really making some good use of the extra bonus time from me making the decision of not dropping a new episode each and every week during the summer. I hope your summer has been wonderful. I have truly enjoyed a slower pace. My team, I think, is wondering what got into Amber. Everyone is just, in the best way to say it, kind of slow rolling through the summer. We don't have any major projects, no major deadlines. I'm not pushing anything. I really was embracing what that experience looked like for me and the team, and really, by result, my family this summer. All right, so what are we talking about today? Well, before we dive into today's episode, All or Nothing, Now or Never, I want to make sure that you know how to work with me. And I say that because you may be a listener and think, oh my gosh, like I love listening. I get so much value. How does she freaking know what I'm thinking? Is she in my head? I hear that a lot. Well, I don't think I'm in your head. I can tell you that if you've had that thought, it's because I truly, truly understand your challenges. I understand what it's like to really work as a business owner and to grow your team. And I know how I can help you. See, I'm not great at everything, but I sure do have my lane. And my lane is to help small business owners create more balance, reduce stress, increase profitability, and really be the CEO and business owner they dreamt of when they decided to be a business owner. So if you have valued the episodes and, gotten results from implementing the strategies you hear on Productivity Straight Talk, I would invite you to double down and go deeper. I would invite you to decide that this is work that's worth it because you can have such a big impact on your business and life. So if you are interested in finding out how to work with me, you can do that by going to amberdelagarza.com/work with me. And there you will find two primary ways to work with me. You can work with me privately in my one-on-one coaching program, or you can join us inside Leverage Lab. We talk a lot here about Leverage Lab, and I would definitely have you take a look at both. If you're not sure which is a fit for you, go ahead and schedule a discovery call. We will jump on a call. We will talk about your challenges, your goals, and I will give you an honest recommendation of whether working with me, period, is a good next step, and which way to work with me would align with your goals. So you can do that by going to amberdelagarza.com/call. And now let's get to the straight talk. As a coach, a lot of the work that I do is not solely just in strategy or tactics or how to, but some real work around the way we think, the way we perceive, the way we make decisions, the way we process. We work a lot on that because sometimes we have embedded beliefs, we have embedded thoughts, we have things that we have thought for so long that we believe are just true, that if we do not work through them, there is no strategy, there is no how-to that can stand up to that. And so, with all good change, all real change, it really needs to happen in our mind first. So today I'm going to ask you to entertain the idea of making a paradigm shift in the way that you're thinking. And the thought that I want to share with you today has such a rippling effect on your productivity and how you show up in your business. It's mind-blowing. And the number of times that I work with my clients on this thought and how it can creep up and show up and affect the way that we make decisions with where we're putting our time, energy, and attention is mind-blowing. So, paradigm shift. I want you to limit and or stop thinking all or nothing, now or never. That mentality is not serving you well at all. Now, the mentality is that you have only two options, and there are two extreme options like black and white, and there is no gray space in between. The irony of this perspective or this thought pattern is that we often don't realize that we're actually thinking this way. But I want to give you some examples of areas in which you may be thinking all or nothing, now or never. All right, so here's some real life examples. If I asked you as your business productivity coach, what would your ideal week look like? And you would say, I don't want to work Fridays. I truly would love a day for myself and to work on hobbies and projects so that I can have the weekend with my family. Let's just say that is a goal of yours. But right now, with the reality you live in, it's all or nothing. And it's going to happen now or never. And so that feels defeating. But let's just take the one thought, all or nothing. Right now, the way that your business runs and operates and the support you have, meaning your current reality, it may be absolutely true that it is not wise for you to take every Friday off. But if you dropped the all or nothing and asked a different question, could you take every other Friday off? Could you take half a day every Friday off? Could you take Friday at 3 o'clock when the kids get out of school off? What? Like, you're saying that if I can't have all day Friday off, and that's not my current reality, it almost stops there, oftentimes stops right there. And we don't ask additional questions of what is possible right now? What would feel like a stretch, but is absolutely possible, and taking those steps would get me to the reality of being able to take every Friday off. So if you want to take Fridays off, like me, right? So I don't take all Fridays off, but if you go back and listen to the episode where I decided I was not doing an episode every week, I shared with you that I made the decision that I was taking many Fridays off through the summer and every Friday afternoon off for sure, right? But for that to be a reality of something that I could implement, I had to make decisions in the business to support that. So I would not have thought, oh, I can take a lot of Fridays off, or I could take every half Friday off if my only thought was, wouldn't it be nice if I took every Friday off? And then I'm hit with reality, and then it doesn't go anywhere. There is no movement. There is no gray. There is no progress. It is immediately shut off. Now you see what I'm talking about. All or nothing. How about this? How about working out, right? Maybe you have a goal to start working out again. And you're thinking it would be so great to go to the gym or go for a run 5 days a week. Because that's ideally where you see yourself. Like you're seeing your future self as someone that gets up, has this routine, leaves the house, and can go work out. But that is so drastically different than your current routine, as in you've got to get the kids ready for school, you might have early meetings, you might have responsibilities later in the evening, so it doesn't allow you to wake up earlier. There's a lot of logistics around that need to be solved for to make it a reality that you can get up early, leave the house, and go work out at the gym. So if you're not running it through all or nothing, can you go to the gym once a week? And maybe that's a Saturday right now, because during the week, you are on duty with the kids. Can you go for a walk after you start work for lunchtime? Can you get out and move your body in nature in some other way, right? I'm just riffing here. My point is this. If you have a vision and you say solely with that vision and you run it through the filter of it has to be that or nothing, then you are not going to be making any forward progress into living into that future self. How about another business one? Creating SOP, standard operating procedures, right? I'm just throwing this out there. That can be a huge project. It's a huge project that my team and I have taken on this year. And I know how big of a project it is. And I know how valuable it is to have processes and updated checklists and the job descriptions that match. Like we live that out, but we've been working on updating all of those this year, which can be a pretty big project. Now, if I thought it had to be done right away, like right now, because my business has to have SOPs, I may freeze and never get started, right? And so my question to you would be, would your business be better off with just one more checklist? Would your business be any better off with one more process? And when you get that process and checklist and you're reaping the benefits of the efficiency for you and your team, would it be possible to create one more SOP, one more checklist, one more how-to process? Yes. And so now we're not running it through all or nothing, meaning we have to figure out how to get all the SOPs done, all the checklists done. Yes, but we've been working on them for 6 months because I wasn't going to stop everything else that was going on in the business to create SOPs. We had a business to run. So my goal was, how do we keep the ball rolling every single week on SOPs? Because it's a process and a journey, and I didn't need to see it through. It has to be done now. Because if we can't rationalize or justify or figure out in our brains of how it can be done now, then we say it's never going to get done, right? Now or never. Another way that now or never thinking comes up that sabotages you every single day is when you have something that comes into your world. It's an email, it's a client that needs something, it's a team member that needs something. Oh my gosh, it's the next best amazing idea that you have. Because you think now or never, you immediately jump on it and sabotage your plan for the day. It hijacks any plan that you did have because you're thinking, I need to jump on it because it either happens now or never. And one way that you can rework that thinking is, if not now, when? It's like an open loop. Our brains absolutely need to close that loop and answer the question. But by just changing the question, or the thinking of it's now or never because I don't know when the next time I can do this is, answer the question. If not now, when? So if I come up with a really great idea and I capture it and I have the discipline to not move into that because I'm already working on the last great plan or idea that I had, then I can say, I captured it and I will revisit it next month. I will revisit it next week. Like, seriously answer the question. If not now, when? This also works with how I teach how to manage your inbox. So inside my masterclass, Conquer Your Email Masterclass, and you can grab that on my website. But in there, I teach you about the importance of knowing when you are processing emails and having it on a regular time on your schedule. Because when the emails come in, if you don't know when you're ever going to get back to them, whether that's later today, tomorrow, or next week, then anytime you're in your inbox, you are going to respond to everything. You're going to do everything, and it's going to completely hijack your day. It becomes a rabbit hole that you get into once you get in your inbox. So if you change the thinking of, I don't need to do this now. Like, I don't need to jump into my inbox now because I know I'm going to be in there at 2:00. That's it. You've just now given yourself the mental bandwidth and freedom to not think about your inbox until 2:00 because you are certain you know when. And you're not filtering it through, if not now, never. Right? Okay. Now, this thinking is going to be kind of like, either you were aware of it and you might have not been able to put words around it, or you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I was thinking this way and that it was affecting how I show up. It's going to be kind of like, it's called recency bias. It's when a situation or someone brings something to your attention and then suddenly it seems everywhere. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen for you this week after listening to this episode. And that's good. Like, I want you to be paused as you're observing your thoughts and thinking, am I making this decision? Am I moving through this with the thought of all or nothing, now or never? Right? Okay. So how is this thinking sabotaging your productivity in business? Number one, it stops you from ever getting started because you're not taking the time to see the path, the gray space in between. You're not recognizing that any change is always an evolution and a process. If I told you I wanted to lose 15 pounds, I can't just say, and tomorrow I've lost 15 pounds. I have to mentally see that that's a path. Like, today I'm here, tomorrow I'm there, and 2 weeks and 3 weeks, what does that look like? How do I have to live that out in all that gray space to get to that I've lost 15 pounds? Well, the same thing is true with our time. The same thing is true with our schedule. The same thing is true how we show up as a leader or how we show up in our businesses. Is that if you're wanting something and you're clear about where it is that you want to go, can you back it up and not say that it has to be that way out of the gate? What do those versions look like that can get you there? And if you can be okay with all those versions that get you there on that path, I guarantee you're going to be a lot more excited to get started. It sabotages your business and your productivity because you're not giving yourself options. That's number two, is you're not giving yourself creative options to move through taking action. And so when things seem like black and white, then if it doesn't fit, if the strategy doesn't fit into that black and white option, then there's no action taken. So give yourself options. Get incredibly creative with what it is that you want to obtain. Number three is you don't see solutions in the gray that might be right in front of you. So it's kind of like you're not giving yourself options, but here's another variation. You may not have actually had the two best options. So when you're thinking that it's all or nothing or black or white, and it's very like, this is the way it needs to be, you are not giving yourself the opportunity to step into something that is really easy. I call it path of least resistance. Could it be easy for you to decide to leave the office 2 hours early on a Friday? Yes. Like 2 hours early on a Friday is not going to have a dramatic impact on your business, but it may have a big impact on your kids getting so excited that you surprise picked them up and you go for ice cream and you have a movie night with the family. Like, I don't know, that's my Friday night. That's this Friday night for us is we're doing a movie night, right? Like, what is that for you? Maybe that 2 hours is that run out in nature that I was talking about on a Friday afternoon. Maybe that 2 hours is volunteering in a place that you feel like your heart is calling you, but you're running it through all or nothing, that you have to volunteer in the super big way. So you can't see that fitting into your life or your business or your responsibilities right now. But what would that look like if you left at 3 o'clock on Friday and said, I'm spending those 2 hours to go volunteer and just get started volunteering and making an impact? Again, options. And path of least resistance says start small and then get big, right? All right, so you may not be seeing all of the opportunities in the amazingly great areas of that journey between where you see yourself in the future and where you're at right now. And then lastly, ultimately, this thinking just limits your growth. If we're stagnated and not taking action, and we're not taking these opportunities that are right in front of us that we can't see, by result, we're limiting our growth, both personally, right, in who we get to be, and the growth in our business. So I invite you to be incredibly observant of the way that you think, and are you filtering it through all or nothing, now or never? And as you observe yourself thinking that way, I want you to look for the gray. I want you to look for what is the next best small step that will get you to where you want to go. Is there an in-between? What are the alternatives that you can brainstorm? Because I know you're incredibly smart. And I know that they're right there. You have them already available to you if you do not get stuck in this thinking. All right, go start today. Start today with version 1.0 of what your gray space area looks like, of moving into taking action in places that you're telling yourself it's not possible because you can't do it all and you can't do it now. I've loved having you listen to this episode of Productivity Straight Talk, and I sure hope you found today's episode to be incredibly valuable. But I need to be straight with you. No change, no change. Without taking action, nothing will change for you or your business. So take some action. And today's action may just be the commitment to observe your own thoughts. And when you realize that you are thinking a way that is not serving you, you can change that. You can change it by asking different questions, by looking at the same situation differently. This is one of my personal favorite strategies that has such a big impact on how we show up in business and life. And if you are curious about how to work with me, because this is the type of work that you want to go deeper in, that you have, applied the strategies and worked the systems, but you want more because you know that there is more to be had, I would love to chat with you. And you can do that by heading on over to amberdelagarza.com/call. And there you can inquire about working with me inside our Leverage Lab experience and or working with me privately via coaching. So that's my straight talk for you today. Until next time, have a productive week.